everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Nursery, the Cosmic Library, an MC Escher and Susie in space, where messages are passed through the very annals of time, slipping through the weave and going to unexpected places. A story can change a life. A story can help someone make very important decisions. And it is in a place like this where the stories are held in perpetuity for posterity. Is a place where stories can be used to their highest capabilities. I am your host, Goonian Ending. I am also your Galaxy Man for today, as we once again review the long-lost star logs of the DFS Faustina. On this, another episode of the Cosmic Library presents Deep Space.
Stardate 45-20.6. Casualty report. Ensign Tan Teo. Ensign Dasha. Security Officer Fred Jahomes. Science Officer Coman Kent. Science Officer Jolene Zeep. Ensign Borp Hill. The results of the rescue mission have been disappointing. We owe it to those we failed to rescue to save the crew that has managed to survive. After witnessing the Shark Lord, the true horrors of this world have been made plain. We continue to track comm badges. We continue to repair. We continue to puzzle over the mysteries presented by this world.
We find Captain Phillips at his desk.
Hell yeah, I got a desk.
Oh yeah, if you go to the Roll20, you will find that I've placed everyone, or approximately I believe they would be, in the ship. Including the prisoner. I've also added him to the conspiracy board as well.
Yeah.
I completely forgot to launch Roll20, so I'm doing that right now. Let me show you, and I'll show you where I believe everyone is.
Everything's A-okay. We're all doing really good today with keeping on top of our technical issues.
Oh, yeah. And so yeah, there's your prisoner. He, a reminder, is an Eladrin, but one who seems to have changed the way in which that he presents himself to more accurately match this planet. He's taken on a more crustaceal form. Yeah. And
crustaceal form.
Crustaceal form. He is crabinized.
He's been cancerized.
So here at the top of the ship, there's Captain Iron Phillips there in his office. Right behind the executive fresher, then down the hall, we have Lily in her office by the fabricate computer. There's Dr. Crane in one of the offices by the teleporter bay. Your prisoner. There's no one in the security office because Shifra along with Avery and Steve are at the helm of the ship. They're doing duty there, and Grix remains in the executive fresher. He's kind of shoved into the stalls still, unless you, specifically James, wanted to do anything different about his physical location.
I think I would have moved it into a location that would be a little less obvious.
Mm.
I know that this is like an executive restroom, but I broke the door, so
right.
Those people can kind of see into the room. So I think I would have scooped him maybe further into my office. What's this little tiny room behind my office.
This room right
Yes, it's
here?
working.
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Hey,
Yes.
oppa!
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
a closet.
There you go.
That's a closet, and then right, like directly behind you over here.
Have you tried turning it off and on again, Moss?
That's what I just did. It just takes a long time to wake up.
I know, you're
Back
good.
here
That's
is
why
like a main
I'm
desk
giving you
where
shit.
your like main PC is, and then on the other side is like a desk for having meetings at. It also doubles as like a holographic display for advanced combat simulations. So if you want to shove Grix into here, we can do that.
Yeah, well, shove him into the closet where it's a little further back.
Come on, I thought we were getting people out of the closet now.
Back in. That's 2025. Everybody back in.
Everybody back in the closet. There's Milo in the
No,
lounge.
I don't want to go back in the closet, damn it.
Everybody back in.
The closet was glass to begin with anyway.
There's Milo in the lounge.
Groundhog
Probably
Day. It's
cooking
not
some
safe
eggs. There's Griffin working on that other tractor beam. There's Mira in her office, which doubles as... So, this is also something I want to bring up to everyone. There are 2, like, suites that are, like, bigger sleeping quarters, and then there are 36 pod beds. I believe reserved for...
That's a lot of beds.
Yeah, majority for, lower rank.
Lower deck
people. But these two nicer ones could probably hold or sleep 2 people comfortably at a time. But perhaps other people's stuff, like maybe people like share a bed without sharing a bed, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, someone sleeps in it in the daytime, someone sleeps in the nighttime.
Communal bed.
Communal bed. That just happens to be, I would imagine, where Mira has most of her research materials. As there's not a whole lot of research space, so there's a lot of space here. We see Griffin's armor here in the repair bay. And here's Juno. She's taken this corner as to be a bit of a sick bay. And then we have Trish McKinley over here working on Dex Engine 1. So the question of the first thing I wanted to get into, and we talked about it a little bit while Moss was having technical difficulties, is where is the figurine of the ray you guys picked up whilst looking through the house.
Our away mission from 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I would have handed it off to the science folk. I wouldn't have taken that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I definitely want to study it.
Yeah! Now is the time! Choose your stat and roll it, and I will tell you what I will tell you.
Okay. It has... I'll just do a religion check on it, because it was like a premonition type deal. It's 14.
On a 14, you've taken eyeglass to it, maybe one of those gem... I forgot what the little gem things are, the little scopes for gemstone looking. I don't know what they're called. You have one of those.
A jeweler's microscope? I don't know what they're actually called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
called. Little jeweler's glass. You've taken that to it. On a 14, you notice a difference in the stone that seems to be inlaid on the bottom side of this stone. On the top side, it's all a black stone that has a near mirror finish. There's a gold inscription on it. May the ray protect you. On the bottom side, there is a light blue stone that seems to have gold, some golden substance naturally running through it. And the readings that you get from the jeweler's glass It's a high-tech one with like more sensory, more sensing ability. There is an energy that is coming off of that gold material specifically, and it's not powerful per se, but it is a little psionic.
Loop.
Amazon is calling them a jeweler's loop.
Yeah.
Loop.
Loupe.
Noodle just put that in the chat.
Yeah. What would you like to do now that you know that this rock is maybe a little bit psychic?
Would that be like a magic roll then?
Be an arcana, maybe?
Yeah, we don't have anyone else that's like...
Currently magical?
good. Yeah.
Well, Griffin is a Gitsurai, which is a Scion, which we discovered last. Which is no, I didn't discover.
Yeah.
I didn't discover it last session. You guys did.
Dr. Crane has a +6 to Arcana.
Yeah, if Dr. Crane's around.
Wait, what are we trying to figure out?
The statuette of Lady Ray.
The little Ray figurine has some psionic energy coming off of it. It's very faint, but it's there.
Yeah.
Dr. Crane
Yeah,
is asleep. Is not asleep actually, in his office, but he's still there.
Okay.
If you want to go
Yeah,
and
like,
get him, I have something I need to do before we bring him into the story.
Yeah, unless I can go talk to Griffin with Noodle not being here.
Griffin's busy.
The urge to abandon my workplace. Yes.
Griffin, Griffin's in one of those moods. He really doesn't want to get into what's going on with the captain, and so he's procrastinating, putting it off, going headlong into his
off to
work.
Crane we go then.
Crane, you've been doing a lot of sleeping.
Oh, sure have. 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yeah. And with that, you've also had your fair share of dreams.
Oh, no.
What could
Don't like how-
one possibly dream of? In a world of
Or bad dreams.
scary fish. Dreams.
If he's having dreams or is he having nightmares? What's the correct answer here?
Dreams that are very similar to the one that you had when you first arrived on this planet. Ones that you cannot ignore and you cannot wave off as just a hallucination brought on by your sudden lack of memories. Dreams where you're floating in an endless abyss of water.
Oh boy. Well, if you're seeing physical Dr. Crane and not dream Dr. Crane, he's in his... I'd say he fell asleep in like an armchair instead of falling like with his data pad on him. And he is like tossing and turning and very clearly at an unrest. His eyes are darting back and forth under his eyelids, and he is like in a cold sweat.
Every dream starts the same. You come to in an endless expanse of water, bubbles. Yes, it was 5 points, yes. You come to in an endless expanse of water. The bubbles that you release from your mouth go straight forward, and from where they disappear, a pinprick of light spreads across your vision, and a voice asks you for help. It implores you to seek the Lady Ray. It guides you to not trust the shining stones.
Oh boy. Don't trust the stones?
To not trust the shining stones. And you come to Mira.
I think in his dream, Dr. Crane pulls out his data pad and is like trying to open up things, like write things down, but it's a dream, so like nothing's coming up.
Well, it's a good thing we don't trust the gems already. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's one person on the ship who does trust them because they taste delicious.
Okay,
when you open up the stuff on your data pad, it's like...
That's turning them into snacky snacks.
Delicious.
When you open things up on your data pad in your dream, it's like gray boxes in the shapes of articles and text, but no actual text. And then you awaken.
Gibberish words.
You awaken to Miro holding, a shiny stone in her hand.
I would advise you to put that down.
Wait, what?
Put it down.
I have the statue.
Put it on the ground, please.
Okay. I guess I put the statue on the ground.
And he's going to use a mage hand to pick it up, and he's just going to move this to the incinerator.
Wait, what? No, we need that.
I do not want it in my presence.
Are you going to make a roll to stop him?
Yes.
I will contest it. I'm going to burn it.
I do have command. Command works on friendlies, right? If you allow it.
If I allow it.
Yeah, like...
I don't allow it right now.
If the dice allow it, then the dice allow it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, what do I have to roll for if you're commanding me?
PvP at this table.
I don't have command off the top of my head.
There's a little tractor beam coming off his data pad that he's using to pick up the statue.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not very wise.
I am a wizard. I am not a...
Yeah.
He book smart.
Book smart. 13.
Not enough.
Ah,
Tell you, drop it.
There is a shine that comes off of her eye as your mind is filled with the command word of drop it, I guess. And the stone clatters to the ground, exposing the blue underbelly with the golden rivulets going through it.
You don't know what you're doing.
I was coming to you to ask for some help. There's some psionic stuff.
Yes, very clearly, and you can tell, even without doing any sort of like perception, that Dr. Crane is like spooked. Like he is unwell.
Does Dr. Crane know what the inscription says?
I don't think so. I don't think we got actually, did we see it when we were before he made it back to the ship in the Pantheon?
No, this was discovered when you were still on the ship and asleep.
Okay, then no, he does not. He wouldn't have. No one would have told him yet, as far as me, Video James knows.
No, like I thought you were like the first one into the chamber.
Well, no, this wasn't discovered in the temple. This was discovered in a house nearby.
This was the away mission that Captain Phillips was on.
It was even before that. Before even Captain Phillips came out of the ship, it was discovered in a house near the temple of the Shark Lord.
Yeah,
just
so he only went
in a normal ass house. Yeah.
Yeah, he only went into the temple. He never went into a house.
Yeah. So yeah, Crane's never seen this thing before, but it is a shiny stone.
It's a shiny stone, and he just had a very vivid dream telling him not to trust it. That apparently has been reoccurring. But what you see is that he looks visibly distressed.
Yeah.
I don't want it in my office.
Okay. I guess I'll like somebody else for help with it, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, you could try to persuade, but... Yeah. All you did was command... You walked into my office, brought me a scary rock, and then commanded me to drop it.
You're the one seeing it as a scary rock.
Correct.
Yes.
That is accurate.
Yeah, like, I just pick it up with my hands. If it was one of the scary stones, would I be able to touch it like this?
Can I do, like...
Insight versus...
Yeah, insight.
Insight versus persuasion? Sure.
Yeah.
Persuasion. Okay, let's go. Woo, that's not.
What is insight under? Is it under wisdom?
Believe so, yes.
That's a 10.
It's a 10
That
versus.
beats my 7.
So, I love this. Because on a 10 insight that succeeds, there's something about her... She's excited by this rock. And it's genuine. On a 10, you can feel that she's genuinely excited about what this rock could mean. And she doesn't know what she's getting into. And as, like, she's, by your estimation, she's one of the smartest people on this ship. And her naivety is a little endearing. So even if you don't want to do it, you probably want to do it for her sake.
It's in your best interest to get this off the ship.
I was told to find this. It's not leaving until I figure it out.
You were told to find this? By what?
A shiny light in my dream.
It was then they realized they were having the same dreams.
A shiny light in my dream told me not to trust the rocks.
It's not a rock.
Is it a rock?
It is a rock. It is a stone. It is a little stone figurine. It is quite literally a rock.
Well,
Place it on
It's
the
not-
table.
okay.
Wrong type
I
of
put it on the
rock.
table. Once the rock has been shaped, it is, well, I guess it's made of rock, but it's not a rock.
This is indeed still a rock, and it is shiny. Okay,
He still doesn't know what the rock says because he doesn't speak the alien language.
yeah. He is going to, while we're sitting here having this discussion, he is going to cast a ritual spell
Oh.
Ooh.
of Identify.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
He is a prepared wizard.
Why wouldn't you have done
I feel
that
like-
before you tried to throw it away?
I feel like that's why wizards talk so much, is because the ritual casts take so long.
Oh,
Because they take forever. Yep.
They
Oh
take
my
for-
god, that's exactly it.
That's exactly it. Anyway,
They're just fucking
while you guys were
stalling for time.
while you guys were talking about what is and is not a rock, your data pad is picking apart the various physical properties and the various physical properties of the two different kinds of stone in this little figurine. The black shine stone with the gold lettering, which, by the way, say, "May the ray protect you," thank you, is a volcanic rock that seems to have a capacity to retain heat that is incredible. There is the decay rate that the data pad is picking up on the heat stored within this rock is so minute that it might as well just be warm forever. And the Identify also picks up on a memory. There is a memory in this rock. Specifically the bottom side. Because the bottom side, the Identify, you'll know that the stone consisting of the underside is a sort of petrified coral, with gold rivulets of a cyanotic conductive material inside, which allows it to retain a memory. That's what you get using the Identify spell.
Well, I am terrified. I can't deny that this is fascinating.
See?
Turn the statue over.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a way to access the memory that we can determine?
Give both of you, if you want to...
There seems to be
How do I approach
a
this?
psychic signature coming from something within the bottom of the statuette.
There, you are hearkened back to the homeworld of the what are you? Azamar, sorry, the homeworld of the Azamar, a culture that is deeply
Keep that secret.
a culture that is deeply reflective, and we discussed them to be very similar to that of the Jedi of this universe, and you were hearkened back to the many hours that your teacher and you sat in meditation in between long nights of studying. Your teacher always said that ruminating on what you have memorized is just as important as memorizing it itself.
So this requires meditation to access?
Maybe.
I'm going to call it quits here. I'm too afraid of what this could possibly be, especially considering that the memory is stored within a sea creature. As far as I can tell, it appears to be unlocked through deep thought and meditation.
Okay, well, I can
If
take
you-
back to the lab and do that.
Careful. I advise extreme caution when dealing with the psychic entity of an unknown planet.
Well, yeah, I'll have myself hooked up to all sorts of sensors.
I don't... Okay. I like you. I want you to stay as safe as possible. Psychic influence is a different being than scientific influence. Does that make sense?
I think I understand what you're implying, but I have full faith in my technology.
Your technology may be able to keep your physical self whole, but there is no knowing what psychic damage might do to you. As far as we have come scientifically, psychic abilities may as well be magic. Please, if you are going to study this item further, at least do it with somebody watching you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sure.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from me?
No, I'd
Okay,
like to
take-
get started.
Take the scary rock out of my office, please.
Gladly.
We are going to cut there, and we're going to go to the bridge, where Shifra, Avery, and Steve are flying the ship. The ping for the next closest locator signals is coming into view, and the ship rises and falls over a ridge and into a valley that is full of... This is what is typically referred to as a seaweed jungle.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So the ship has to stop before entering because its very presence passing through it would cause so much destruction. And you start to pass over the top of it, and cresting out from over the top of even the highest growths of these long chains of seaweed that stretch up, we see a mound attopped with crumbled structures, skyscrapers, an entire city on a hill. At least that's what it appears to be, simply looking at it through our feeble flesh and bone eyeballs. Shifra, you're at the helm.
One sec, I'm checking to see if I have a ranger thing for this.
Ooh,
I feel like I do, but I'm not positive.
could be nice. Could be nice to have a ranger thing for this.
This wouldn't be considered coast, would it?
Uh,
What is considered coast for this?
I
for
will
our
give you.
purposes?
I will give you this whole planet if you choose coast. Let's be fair.
Okay, then yeah, I have a natural explorer.
Cool.
Proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when you make an intelligence or wisdom related check to it while traveling for an hour or more in your chosen terrain. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group. Group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger when you are engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at any normal pace. You can find twice as much food while foraging, and while tracking enemies, you can learn the exact number, size, and how long ago they passed through the area. So, how is that going to apply to a ship? Because obviously, like, difficult terrain and whatnot is not necessarily something that comes into play here. How would you rule that?
The best thing for the ecology of the area would be for the Faustina to start to orbit this city on a turtle. It is a city comparable in size to the city that you found that worships the Shark Lord.
All right.
In terms of predators, who knows what could be in that grass?
I'm just getting fucking flashbacks to Jurassic Park 2. And the tall grass and the fucking velociraptors.
Well, this is grass that like probably goes down 50 to 80 feet. This is like a true seaweed jungle.
I'm sorry, apparently my adopted grandma had an alligator in her fucking backyard!
What?
Hell yeah. That's rad.
Sick.
Are we trading stories of what happened in our local areas? Because we had a house blow up.
Yeah, that was crazy. Also,
Sorry,
my dad
crazy
found a
tangent.
coyote in my backyard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Somebody locally, like, turned a corner, there was a house on fire, and then they went home and there was a house on fire behind their house.
You know what? This
Wow.
seems like a great time to
Yeah.
move into the next thing that I wanted to do this session.
Anyways,
A house on fire?
No. We're gonna step into the past. The far past. To what some people might call the first age of this world. An age of gods. An age of worshippers. And the age wherein a group of worshippers would voluntarily climb onto the back of their god. These are the followers of the Tortoise Lord. He is a god venerated for love of creativity. He is known to smile upon great works of art. He is featured in many stories about traveling to far-off lands to gather their artisans, gather their stories. And he's got a little sidekick. On his back, the Coral Lord is known to live. The Coral Lord is a god that is venerated for his love of creation, for technology, for tinkering, for advancements using the mind instead of expressions from the heart. And what would be the first thing that a society of artisans might build on the back of their god? James.
Whew. The first thing that they would build?
On the back of their god.
One second. There's a word that I learned recently.
You learned it so good you have to look it up again.
I have to learn how to look up how to spell it.
Ah, I see.
So I found this out because there's a town in our area that apparently is just a named after a movement called Chatauqua.
I see. Okay.
And the Chatauqua is an adult education and social movement that had like a popularity within the United States. I found this out because I have a brother who lives across the country, and in the state he lives in is also a town called Chatauqua.
Wow.
And he's like, I thought that this was named after
local Indian stuff.
Local Native American stuff, because like it's a lot of stuff in our area is named after local Native American stuff.
Mm-hmm. West Seneca.
But so what they are what a Chatauqua is like a location to bring like entertainment and culture to a community.
Okay.
And like
Community center.
Basically, yeah, it's like a community center. So I feel like if they were a group of artisans and like cultural people, their first thing that they would build is like a town hall. And the word Chatauqua was the first thing that popped in my head, and I was like, okay, we'll run with that.
Yeah,
love that.
Town hall, some sort of like gathering place.
Yeah, like which would make sense because then or like even just like a city hall basically, because it's something that where they can gather to then expand out. So there's like a local area where everybody can stay while they're building their.
Kind of like the historic town squares.
Yeah.
Like where the courthouse is kind of center, and then you've got like all the other things that go out from there.
It's where the Grand Chatauqua, built at the very center, the very peak of the Lion Turtle's back. Spoilers. Is the very first project erected through arcane and agricultural might. A grand twisting spire is erected. A grand peak. An enormous tower. Floor upon floor. Gathering places. Places for meetings. Little restaurants for conversing with. And in the center, at the very base floor, a grand open-air theater. Opened to the entire city by the use of enormous pillars that shoot up and meet at the very peak. And it is there that the first symposiums and the very first meeting of these people, at the very end, they decide to name their city Chatauqua. In the city of Chatauqua,
rolls off of the tongue, doesn't it?
the great city of Chatauqua. There are many schools, each one dedicated to a different craft. Some that we may recognize: pottery, painting, but perhaps there is a school of a different art, perhaps a less orthodox one. What do you think, Moss?
What would be a less orthodox art?
Puppetry.
Yeah, I
Miming.
like puppet shows.
Puppet school. I like that.
Yeah, because it could display any other art on the puppets.
Right. A grand school
I'm so sorry.
No, I was struggling there. Thank you.
A grand school of puppetry. A place
Noodle has said food juggling.
A grand school of puppetry. A place that would make Jim Henson cry. A place that young artisans would bring their little creations so they could expand their proficiency in their art. A school where perhaps a guild of ne'er-do-wells may find themselves brought in and using their mastery of puppets may discover paths down that road that tend to or are capable of simulating real life more accurately than perhaps otherwise thought. Now, I've let it slip that this city is on the back of an enormous dragon turtle.
You said lion turtle.
Lion turtle. Dragon turtle, lion turtle.
Dragon turtle also
Dragon
works.
turtle is very cool.
Yes.
Do you think that in what ways do you think that the creature itself either welcomes or expresses displeasure of having a society on its back? Lissa.
I think it kind of doesn't care unless it would, like, do it harm. Like, have you seen turtles with things just hitching a ride on them before? It's fucking hilarious.
It's cute.
So, like, I don't think it would care too much as long as it wasn't harming it. You know? Like, if they started digging down or something like that into its shell, then I think it would start having issues and caring. But, like, as long as they aren't, like, sucking any sort of, like, life force or blood or anything like that from it, I don't think it cares too much. As long as it's, like, weight-wise distributed pretty evenly.
Yeah.
Like, if it's too top-heavy, it will just, like, do a flip and, like, knock the top down and be like, all right, we're good now.
That is awesome. Perhaps a secret task force manned by mages skilled in puppetry, controlling highly lifelike puppets, would seek out people who are trying to do the turtle harm. Perhaps over a series of missions they would cast off the mantle of ne'er-do-wells and become unsung protectors of this creative city. Each of you, beyond the great Chatauqua on the back of this tortoise lord, god of creativity, in a city that venerates creation above all else, would certainly have a lot of things to do. What is something that we have in our society that is entertainment-based, that is also present on this, what is possibly the most exciting city on this entire planet? Each of you get one.
Cinema.
Cinema.
So anything involving characters playing roles for the entertainment of a large audience.
We see small cinemas. We see large movie theaters. And they each have one thing in common: a glistening pearl that is held in a stone coral structure that is deep blue in coloration and has gold rivulets running throughout its body. And they are carved, and they are placed, and they are set, and then they are programmed with memories. There are those who spend their time weaving their own very memories into stories that are to be shared with everyone. These great directors act as both camera and vision, being the vision itself. And the art form, I would say, is probably elevated for it, if I'm being completely honest. Who else has got one?
Because of Noodle's comment about food juggling, hibachi.
Hibachi!
Hell yeah.
There's something truly explosive about cooking with hot lava, imported in from outside, perhaps from our city, the city that worships death. There are grills that use highly reactive chemicals and dazzling displays of explosive cooking, sending up incredible ripples of bubbles. Fuck yeah, food juggling! Knives flying through the air, ingredients blended without use of a blender, but by mere control of the water itself, and these bubble bars all over the city, ranging from kind of grungy looking, but you know the food is so really good, to Michelin level food experiences that are entirely too pretentious.
There's 100% that bartender that does flips and tricks with the alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Mixologist?
Mixology goes crazy in Waterworld. Not that Waterworld, this Waterworld.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they would also be crazy in the other Waterworld too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What you got for me, James? One more entertainment staple of the city of Chatauqua.
Boy bands.
Thank you.
I could not hear you over Lisa.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, boy bands, yeah.
In a society of
boy bands?
artists.
Boy bands.
In a society of artists, there is one echelon, one art form that rises to the peak, the pinnacle of popularity. And there is a grand council of 5 boys that hold court in the Grand Chatauqua. They shall remain unnamed until I can think of sufficiently awesome names for this boy band government.
It's like Ryan, Kyle.
No, stop it.
Something to do with redfish. Something to do with redfish, bluefish, one fish, two fish.
Alien Instinct does go really hard. Thank you, Noodle.
We'll have to get like
NC.
one of those AI music generators to make.
No,
a
we're
boy
not
band
doing.
song.
We're not using AI. We're
No,
never
no,
using
no.
AI. Nuh-uh.
Oh no, I don't think you've ever understood like how awful the songs come out.
Oh yeah,
They're
hilariously so, but at the same time.
they're so bad.
At the same time, there are many pretenders
join
to
you,
the
Noodle.
throne. There are many pretenders to the throne. But these ancient scions and sirens, they do a surprisingly excellent job at using fandom to enact policy.
You gotta use your social media presence to influence people.
There is hardly ever factionism. There's hardly ever a lot of factionism, unless until there are dark times when a new boy band rises through the ranks and challenges the one that is currently in political power. But it is most often decided through a dance-off with a live poll, and then there's an amicable shift of power from one boy band group to another. And throughout the city, you can find shrines to perhaps that borough's favorite of the boy band in power. Long lines of statues of the many boy band idols that have been in power throughout the city's history. And it is this lost city of Chatauqua that the DFS Fascina come across. There are the locator pins on the locators on the comm badges. They're scattered throughout this great city. One of which is in the Central Symposium. There's one that appears to be in the in a plex that is on a campus that is filled to the brim with statuettes. There is one in what appears to be. There's a lot of the remains of a fair, like ripped tents and crude rides made by materials that really shouldn't have stood the test of time, but simply have. And finally, there's the last locator pin is on the very edge of the city, so far to the edge that appears that it is simply sitting on the edge of the cliff and just facing the outside of the, just watching looking out at the open ocean. And without further ado, it's time to assemble a search party. Each of you did one, and then if you'd like, I can also bring in one of my NPCs along.
You cut out at the last bit there.
Oh, if you guys each get to pick one of your characters, and then you can then also choose for me to bring one of my NPCs along, if you'd like. I'm not making it mandatory like I did last session.
The thing applies here, right, Goon?
Huh?
That we talked about. I said the thing applies that we talked about, right?
No.
Okay. Then I know I know who I'm bringing. We're gonna bring Shifra.
I think. Would you consider Dr. Crane having been rested enough to recover his levels of exhaustion?
Absolutely. Okay. Complete full long rest, all good.
Okay.
It's been a couple of full days, don't worry about it.
Cool beans. Dr. Crane will go down if this is going to be like an intellectual community.
I didn't say intellectual, I said artists.
It's still a
cultural.
I know. I was making a joke.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring Mira just for the research possibilities.
Research possibilities.
The captain's got his hands full with other things. So.
Yeah. Did you want me to bring one of my NPCs along, or do you just want to head down with the three of you?
Why don't we flip a coin?
That's
I
fun.
liked having a nurse on the mission.
The NPCs are Trish McKinley, Steve Poisson, Nurse Juno Fizz, and the prisoner. Why we would bring the prisoner, I don't know, but he is an option.
Yeah, that's where the prisoner does.
I'm not gonna say no.
It's still an option if we are so inclined. Poisson hasn't gotten time out.
Poisson might be. Is Poisson what class is he?
He is security officer. He is big and he's like a solid 6 inches taller than you, Dr. Crane.
I'm pretty average height. Okay.
He can't stand up to his full height in the ship.
Okay. Does anybody have healing abilities that's going down? I technically do, but it's not a lot.
I have my divine something or other. I can do that twice. And that's
Okay.
only like a
I
D8.
basically have like the paladin healing hands ability, but it doesn't give me a lot of health to play with. And Shifa is a combative.
She's
Correct.
also a security officer. She's a rogue ranger.
Okay. Who of the NPCs can do healing?
There's Juno Fizz. I know for a fact because I did use her last time, but I don't have a character sheet made for the other three.
Why don't we take the nurse Juno, because there's nobody on the ship currently who's injured, right? Like, or at least receiving ongoing treatment that she can't be present for.
Right. Everyone seems to be
that's
doing good. And there may
That's
be, someone may be injured on the ground.
That's a good point. We should probably bring a medic just in case we locate somebody, because we were tracking beacons, right?
Yep. Still working on those comm badges.
Is there anybody who is remaining on the ship who can heal, other than the nurse? Because something should happen, and we lose our only medical.
Lily should be good. She's head of medicine currently, so she should be able to take care of whoever's left over.
Good.
Everyone who's left over.
That would be Captain assigning roles here. He would want to make sure that he's not sending the only medical person on the ship out of the ship. So if we have more than one, we will send down Nurse Juno.
All right.
Unfortunately, Steve, I'm sorry. Next mission, buddy.
Steve doesn't say much. All right. And it is that team that is sent down to the the lost city of Chatauqua. Everyone has their rebreather masks and gravidos applied. Which of the 4 locations did you beam down to? The College of Sculpture, the Grand Chatauqua, the theme park, or the Edge? The Edge! Sorry, that was an impulse.
Where do we pick up the beacon from? Is it just in this general vicinity? Do we know?
There's one in each.
Okay, there's one in each.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is the closest to us? The Edge?
No, the Edge is actually on the far edge. The closest one definitely would be the College of Statue.
Okay, me personally, metagaming here would say that we go to the closest one, but I'm gonna leave you guys to vote as well.
Yeah, work our way from one side across.
Right. Do a sweep.
Yeah, I suggest we probably don't split up. We don't know what we're running into.
All sound good, Shifra?
Sorry, say that again. I was doing business messages.
Oh. They want to.
I'm having to also adult for a stream production thing.
Cool. They are advocating for starting at the College of Sculpture and then working their way across the turtle.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me.
Cool. And you guys are beamed down right outside of a large building. It is not perfectly square. There's not like a perfect edge to be found anywhere. It is all rounded. It is all worn. There is a sign, and the onboard computer of the ship has gotten a look at enough of the language to partially pick this apart. There's definitely the word for sculpture, and the word for grand is here as well. And there's this great building is a couple stories tall, and on the inside it makes a grand donut shape. On the inside, scanners indicate there is a large garden-esque area that is maybe fairly overgrown, but that is where one of the pins is coming from.
Who's on point?
Oh, it's not Dr. Crane.
It's 100% Shifra, and the first thing out of Shifra's mouth is, "Everyone stay the fuck behind me."
Got it.
You don't have to ask me twice.
It's gonna be us babysitting these two, isn't it, Shifra? This is Juno.
You're not wrong, but hopefully things are a little bit less aggressive here, since it seems to be on a living creature.
If I were this turtle, I would have knocked everyone off a long time ago. Knocked all of this rubbish from my back a long time ago. Anyway,
Aren't you
Well,
just a
maybe
ray
it
of
likes
sunshine?
it. Maybe it likes it. It feels like back scratches or something.
Yeah, turtles can feel everything through their shells.
Walking through the building, there are many large rooms filled with incomplete sculpture. They all seem to be made of this very same light blue stone with gold rivulets running through it. Incomplete works. A couple of busts of, fairly attractive fishmen. And some fairly attractive fishmen. Some of them are folk that are partially turtled, or some faces with beaks as opposed to gulping mouths. There are a couple of, you recognize some statues from the Crab Lord's domain. They may have been shipped out to the Crab Lord's domain from this very college here.
I'm sorry. All I'm just I'm imagining in my head. You know the scene when SpongeBob is looking at the beach dudes who work out and shit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking. these
I'm imagining
His anchor arms.
yeah.
Don't be a wimp, be a jerk.
Yeah, no, I'm just imagining Zora statues in the shape of
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
David and
Just
the
One of them
thinking
was
guy.
100% Larry.
Oh yeah,
Larry the
you
lobster?
see just an enormously broad lobster man with very skinny arms but huge claws. Just absolutely enormous claws.
Got Prince Sidon over there.
Prince Sidon, yes. One of the boy bands definitely had a Prince Sidon looking guy.
Oh yeah, you know it.
All kinds
Yeah,
of
you
all
mentioned
kinds
boy
of hot
bands, and all I
fish.
imagined was
The
Zora.
face of the boy bands.
Imagine, I'm just thinking of other boy
100%
bands.
the duck lip thing is the pose because they all have the fish mouths.
All fish lips. Oh, everyone got fish lips. Yes.
Fish lips.
Everyone got fish lips.
That's their hit. That's their first hit. Everybody got fish lips. Everybody got fish lips. Girl, you know we all got them.
Tricorder readings pick up a lot of residual psionic
Dude,
energy.
just enjoy the names for the markers later.
Fish lips. I will. All your tricorders are picking up a lot of underlying psionic energy in this space.
Does it match the energy from the statuette that we identified earlier?
Did you bring the statuette with you to directly compare?
I
back in the lab.
did not.
You left it back at the lab.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, luckily everything is saved. So you pull up the file on the thing you were.
Yeah, I have a data pad.
Yeah, you pull up the file on the thing you were studying earlier that day. And the energy signature is very extremely similar. It's probably a slight difference, most likely caused by exact mineral content. But in essence, the pattern is the same.
So all of the readings are within a reasonable variance of the readings that we picked up from that horrid little rock you brought into my office earlier today.
You afraid of rocks?
He
It's-
definitely
Coral.
overreacted, in my opinion.
Coral, to be specific. Is it? Am I noticing coral built up around this place as well?
Yes. Everywhere where there is an incomplete statue, there is also coral, live deep blue coral with the same blue, the same gold. I keep using the word rivulets. Rivulets is the word of the day. Rivulets that run through it.
I feel like you need to add a word of the day thing on the Patreon now as well.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe
the
of the
statues are made of like a pale variant of this that blue and gold coral, whilst there are growths of it that appear that are much more saturated, much more blue. That one might surmise. I'll tell you now. Those are the bits that are still alive. Those are the bits that are still growing.
Okay. Which one of you is the zoologist? No, I mean, like zoologist. This is out of character. I'm just wondering which one was the zoologist. Is it the one that came down?
Xenobiology, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to relay that information to you. Like, it appears that these bits here that are the lighter color are deceased coral, but it appears that the darker hues of blue and gold might actually still be a living entity. I'm going to pass that information to you and move on.
Okay, that tracks with other types of coral. So it seems like they react about the same way.
But this coral seems to be giving off some sort of psionic energy.
It could be connected to the Coral Lord in some way.
I'm sorry, what?
The Coral Lord.
How many different lords are on this planet?
7, 8 if you include the big scary one.
He puts his hands on your cheeks and just goes, I hate it here. And he just moves on.
I hate it here.
I hate it here. And he just continues on.
Shifra just fucking laughs.
Yeah, I've just got my head in my scans of everything, everywhere.
What are
he
these
just had
lords?
to make sure that you were paying attention.
So you mentioned you mentioned a coral lord. What are the other lords as you walk through the statues and walk through the corridors of this college?
Well, I was told to find one of them, Lady Ray. We have the statue back in the lab. Crane said I should have somebody supervise me while I try to connect to it, if you're up for that.
Sure.
I would say she's probably a better option to take. And he's like yelling across the way. Take the health professional.
I'm sure, maybe. As you guys are talking, you enter another section. This is a hallway that has a good number of statues, and then on one side there are completed statues, on the other side are incomplete statues. And on the one side there is a statue of a whale, a statue of a shark, and a clam, and a tortoise, and a ray, and then just a piece of coral.
I would like to make an investigation check real quick.
Go for it.
While you're doing that, Dr. Crane just walks up to the piece of coral and does a deep bow. He's like, the Coral Lord, I presume.
The Coral Lord.
The Coral Lord.
He's being deeply sarcastic.
You can be sarcastic, but each of these have a sign in the native language that names them as the Lady Ray, the Whale Lord, the Lord of Whales, the Clam Lord, the Tortoise Lord.
Definitely taking scans of all of the language and then adding it to like a decryption thing for everything else.
Hell yeah, dog.
I can also roll investigation if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, let me know which stat specifically, and
I'm trying to figure out how if D&D Beyond already has this on there, or because Natural Explorer, your proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to it. So Is that already taken into account on my sheet, or is that...
Well, because how would D&D Beyond know what biome you're currently in?
If you
that's fair.
click, you
Okay.
might be able to add that to it.
So if that's the case, if it's an investigation check, that is gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty
Because if it's plus 18,
20.
I rolled a 2.
I have one.
I can roll investigation.
You rolled a 2 and you got a dirty 20.
I love it.
Because if that is the case and we're in a coast right now, that means my investigation has a plus 18.
A little bit of regrets on my end, but never mind. Let's get into it.
I rolled a natural 20 on investigation too, so you might as well just give it up.
Cool. After many scans and much compiling, you come to the truth behind this particular room. And this is a room where the artisans are studying sculpture in the practice, in the tradition of venerating their deities. There is a decisiveness to the order in which these gods are presented. The order being the Whale Lord, the Clam Lord, the Shark Lord, the Tortoise Lord, the Lady Ray, and the Coral Lord. And this is a divine order. And on a natural 20, Crane, I'm gonna say, you accidentally bump into one of these statues.
That tracks.
And you can see in an instant a lifetime of students, artisans, taking seats or taking places, working with passion and sweat to make a graven image of a god. Years upon years upon years upon years. The entire lifetime of this coral is recorded in its very molecular structure and is able to pass it on through touch.
You see as he bumps into the statue and his eyes just kind of like flash, his like celestial eye color pops up, and he's just, oh good heavens, and just immediately is just like not well, and then he collapses as soon as he lets go of the statue.
Shiva immediately goes and checks on him.
Crane, as your vision is coming back to you, you see Shifra come to your side with an unusual amount of haste. You see beyond her a child, a little girl with a head that resembles that of a ray. And in a blink of an eye, she disappears from your vision as you are fully back in the present.
Oh, an angel with a devil on her shoulder.
Did this guy just get knocked up by a rock?
I'm just like scanning him up and down.
Yeah, can we get a medicine check?
Yeah, get a medicine check.
Yeah.
Whoopsie doodle.
Whoopsie doodle.
What'd you get on medicine?
It's not great. I got a 11.
On an 11, he's fine. He's fine. He just had a bad trip. He experienced what your old CRT TV experiences whenever you pull the plug on it while it's still working. Except he can still live without a plug.
That snap of ozone smell too.
Yep, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Classic.
You will
God, I know
find.
that smell all too well.
Yeah.
I grew up around fucking arcade machines getting fixed, so that was.
Oh, hey, me too.
Really?
Cool.
My dad fixed arcade machines for like 5 years.
My dad fixed them when I was like really little, and then he sublet to a guy that still fixed them. So like whenever mom would need to like go grocery shopping and she'd drop us off at the office, the thing that we would do to like keep herself entertained was to play on the arcade machines that were getting fixed.
Same. My dad would take me to work, and I got to play like the Terminator like arcade game and stuff. And Christmas one year
Killer
was
Instinct 2 was the one that was always fucking broken.
We had the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet in my living room for like a month during Christmas.
We had so we still.
Sorry,
have
tangent,
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
Pinball.
Wrap it up.
It's very
Have
exciting.
you ever seen the
One more.
Tri-Zone pinball machine by Williams?
Oh yes, yes.
We own that.
You will
That's
We
find.
also have, I think it's Robotron.
We should talk
You will
because I'd love
find,
to buy
yes,
arcade
that-
cabinets.
Yes.
Each one of you can choose to meditate while touching any one of these statues to dial in on a specific time that this statue has witnessed.
I want to go
The
to
first thing I
Lady
do
Ray.
before I was like, just so everyone is aware, I made it known earlier to my good friend over here that physical damage and psychic damage are two different things. Please use your utmost caution. And then I'm gonna take Shifra by just grab you by the collar for a second. I saw a little girl behind you. Did you see her by chance?
I did not, but that doesn't mean that there's not something going on.
Okay, let's keep an eye out. It was quite terrifying. You're just touching a rock.
Yes, I'm touching the Lady Ray.
You're touching the Lady Ray. You can okay. There is a lot of time witnessed by this coral. There's a large expanse of it where it is just out in the wild, growing naturally, growing freely. You can sense the instant that it was harvested and brought to the academy. The academy director looks very young, and then suddenly that academy director looks very old, and suddenly there's a new academy director. There's a new teacher. There's an old teacher. There's another new teacher. There's an old teacher. You can see the faces of the students grow up in these halls, learning to carve the images of their favorite gods. The Lady Ray is extremely popular. You can see in terms of popularity, for every one student that chooses to carve the Coral Lord, there are at least 5 students that choose the Lady Ray, and so on and so on. She's extremely popular. Everyone loves the Lady Ray. She is the goddess of friendship and community, and everyone loves her. And some of them, even you can hear through the muffled time scale, that they refer to her by a more native name, Kistrix.
Okay.
And then there is a large expanse where there are no students. The building looks still relatively fine. I mean, it's an older building, but it was still being kept. But then there are suddenly no students. There are no teachers for 200, 300 years. As if all of these humanoid hybrid aquatic beings, they just simply snapped out of existence. And 400, 500 years later, a odd, fleshy, just a large fish wanders through the corridor. It touches the statue of the Lady Ray on accident. And suddenly and spontaneously, it grows a pair of limbs.
Ew.
And a pair of legs. And its tail stretches out, and It begins to take on a more humanoid shape. And then, completely confused, it swims away. Fast forward another 400, 500 years, you see another one of these porpoise folk. This one is wearing clothes, and it has a tablet, a stone tablet that is scratching on. It passes through. It seems to touch the statue that you're touching. Its eyes widen. It sees the inception of its own race, and it becomes terrified, and it runs away, dropping the tablet, and it is that stone tablet you find on the floor in front of you as you come back.
Oh. I wonder if this is important.
As you pick it up, and you look at it, for a moment, you think you see a little girl in front of you. But the second that you go to actually look at it, it's gone. Does anyone touch any other statue?
Which one did I touch?
You accidentally touched the Coral Lord, and you got you didn't get the whole story of that statue, but you got a story. Yeah.
Okay, but so we've got Lord Coral, Lady Ray, what, and what?
The order is the Whale Lord, the Clam Lord, the Shark Lord, the Tortoise Lord, the Lady Ray, and the Coral Lord. The Lord of Whales, but the Whale Lord is already a Pokemon.
How many in total are there? Whale, clam, shark, crab.
Shark. Oh, I forgot about the crab. I keep forgetting the Crab Lord. The Crab Lord is in between Tortoise and Ray. So whale,
shark, tortoise.
clam, shark, crab, ray, coral.
Whale, clam, shark, tortoise, crab, ray, coral?
Yes.
Okay. We now know that Ray is Hystrix.
Hystrix, yeah.
Okay.
That's the name that the people of this planet gave to her.
Yep. I'm just taking notes.
Shifra is going to tentatively... First, I'm going to do investigation on the Whale Lord one real quick.
Okay.
It's like an auto success to do investigation.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to give you the help action.
Yeet!
So I get advantage. Oh, okay, so that's a 9 on the dice. So,
27?
something like that?
You have a plus 18, right?
Yeah, it's plus 18, so
Yeah.
9
so
plus 18.
27?
27. Cool space.
Well, okay. The Lord of Wales.
Love seeing those big numbers.
The Lord of Wales is a unique one of these statues. It is the first in the line, but it doesn't appear. The sign indicates that there is one being, but there are simply 2 whales present. Each of these whales has a long antenna sprouting from its head, like a it's the creepy one from Finding Nemo. What's it called?
Anglerfish?
Anglerfish. There it is.
Oh.
Like an angler. But it's a whale. It is a huge.
It's lantern.
It's lantern. It's a whale. It's got an anglerfish's antenna. It's got wide tails. And there are 2 of them depicted. There is magic at play, or some kind of technology at play that keeps 2 coral carven statues of 2 whales, each with a lantern on its head, circling each other in a spiral as they face upwards. It is known as the Lightbringer,
I think they.
Hope Giver.
It's known as what? Hope Giver?
Lightbringer,
Lightbringer.
Hope Giver. It is referred to it is always referred to in singular pronouns, but it's always depicted as a pair of whales.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch this one.
You see it from the very beginning of its
That's
life.
what I'm saying,
The coral in the wild, the coral being harvested, the coral being carved, and for a time, you see that this statue actually spends the portion of its life in what can be best described as a church. It is the centerpiece of a congregation of whale worshippers. These wide-mouthed hybrid folks, they seem to be much larger than a lot of the other hybrid of this first species. And there is generations of songs, you can hear them in your mind, songs sung in the great halls of the Lord of Whales. Lightbringer, Hope Giver. You can see many late night confessions at the altar before the Whale Lord, that it may forgive them for their impure thoughts, their impure deeds, their dishonesties, and that may its light cleanse them. Many a sorrowful sinner collapsing into the arms of the priest for many, many years, and then suddenly, nothing. It was moved to this classroom, was studied, not nearly as popular as the Lady Ray, but it was studied and it was carved fairly popularly in a very similar way. It would appear that all of this hybrid species, every variation, every turtle folk, every whale folk, fish folk, crab folk, gone. Simply wiped from existence. You witness that very same odd fleshy creature enter. You can see it touch the statue of Kistrix, metamorphosize. This statue eventually is taken in by these porpoise folk that come after, and summarily returned. It was placed in a glass case for a while, but the place where it was being held was wrought with a couple of natural disasters. A cave-in, a collapse. And so one of these porpoise folk in a fairly adventurous looking hat decided to bring it back to where they found it. And then the present. No hybrid, no porpoise, no nothing. You actually watched yourself walk in. That's when you know you've made it to the end of the VCR, the end of the DVD.
The end of the security footage.
And as you come back to reality, you don't see any mysterious children pop into view.
Did you see her?
I did not. I believe that you guys see her. I'm just curious why I'm not seeing her.
Maybe we need to try another one.
Have you had any funky dreams?
No?
We've both
You guys had funky dreams?
That's what-
Interesting hypothesis. He takes out
Oh
his
my
data
god,
pad
you
and
guys
starts
know
taking
you're
notes.
supposed to report these kind of things to the security officer, right?
Or at the
They were
very
dreams.
least, the psychiatrist. Right?
I've been
They
asleep.
weren't
I've been asleep for
disturbing at all.
several days.
You have
Um,
asleep on the job, typical scientist.
I
In
think
his defense, he did extremely exhaust himself trying to get back to the ship.
I was very tired.
I watched our crewmates die.
He almost died.
I watched my crewmates live. Take that! Ha ha!
Okay, fuck me, I guess.
No, thank
And
you.
Juno's just gonna
moving
leave.
on.
She's gonna go somewhere
not
else.
Fuck you.
No, Juno's just gone.
But-
Juno's just gone.
Maybe we should try another one.
She done split.
We've touched the coral. We've touched the ray. We've touched the whale. I'm going to touch the shark. Please. Schiefer, he grabs your hand. And he's like, just for a moment. And he goes and touches the shark.
When you touch the shark, you are in a black abyss.
Not again!
Pitch black. And in the far reaches of your vision, you see pinpricks of red and purple light come into focus. You have been spotted.
That's all I see.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. 18.
On an 18, you also feel spotted from the direction of the ship.
Okay. As in, like, behind the ship or from the ship?
From the direction of the ship, you feel spotted. You feel spotted from a great distance away, but you also feel spotted from someplace very close by, specifically to the ship.
Okay. And is that the only memory that I get from touching the shark?
That is the only sensation you get from touching the shark.
Okay. I'm holding Schiefer's hand. Does she feel that?
No.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, did you feel that?
Did I get any psionic anything from that? From contact with him?
Definitely his grip tightened.
I felt you squeeze. Are you okay?
Oh, it was just adorable. He's like, something saw. We should probably move. We should collect what we came here for, and we should move back to the ship. And then he whispers to you. He pulls you in really close, and he's like, something from the ship saw us.
Hey guys, I think I found them. You look through the windows towards the central courtyard, and there's Juno waving. I think I found him.
Oh, good. Very good. Did she find all of them?
No, just the one.
Okay.
There was only one here at the college.
Well, mission accomplished here. Shall we move on?
It's more complicated than that. Come on.
Yeah, but
to make you, can I question, if I touch the statues with the data pad, would it give me the information from them that I can review later?
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. That is a 17.
On a 17, you go to touch which statue specifically?
I'm going to go and touch the tortoise because it's like the next one down from the shark.
When you go to touch the tortoise lord's statue, your data pad slips from your hand and knocks a chunk of the live coral off. The coral that the statue is made of had sprouted new life, and a piece of it, got knocked off as the data pad sailed through the water.
Whoopsie doodle.
And as you pick up that fresh piece of coral, you see the entire life of the Tortoise Lord statue.
Not again! Every time. Okay.
Concerned
But
about
does
being
this?
spotted though?
It's portable.
Yeah. Oh, it's portable. Okay,
You can take clippings of the coral from these statues and get the records of the entire life of the entirety of the growth of the coral.
Okay. Is the coral's only growing from this particular statue, but we would
It's
just
growing
take
from all
clippings
the statues. There's fresh buds growing from every statue.
Okay, I'm going to relay this. Be like, we should get moving, but it appears that any of the live coral retains the memories of the locals that we've been seeing from these statues. So if we take small clippings, we should be able to gather the information, review it back on the ship, but we should get moving.
Okay, I'll
I
grab a
really
sample
need your help
containers.
down here, guys.
We're on our way.
Yep, very quickly grab samples and then join her.
Yep.
As you enter the courtyard, you see so many statues of hot fishmen. So many statues. Not just hot statues of not just fishmen, but like gorgeous mermaids as well. This is a hollowed garden of hot fish. In just resplendent engraved outfits, in grand poses that denote their station and perhaps whether or not they were great dancers or orators, poets perhaps as well. Each statue trying to tell a story in a single frame. And at the very center of all of these, you find a crew member. This is Science Officer Wanda Sykes. She's got her hands on the abs of a hot fish, and her eyes are glazed over, and she's got this just wide grin on her face. And we see a creature coiling up and around her, a creature made of slender appendages that sprout from a central line. A creature that is slowly working its way up and around her, and you can see an aurora of pinks and blues slipping from the back of her mind and into a pincered maw, as Wanda Sykes is being psionically fed upon by this creature.
Oh, we should stop that. I'm going to try to use a mage hand and just like see if I can.
All right, mage hand cannot be used as an attack.
Yeah, it has to be an attack.
It
I was
can
just
be
going to try
used
to
to
pull
lift.
her. I was just trying to pull her.
This is some kind of effect that has got her. It's gonna need some kind of snap out of it thing.
Okay.
So I have to damage her?
You have to damage something, probably.
Okay, I'm going to use Shocking Grasp on it. I'm going to taser it.
It is so not specific. What it are you tasering?
The thing that is holding on to her.
The long creepy thing that I
What
just
the
described while
fuck
you were
did I
gone.
just miss
Yeah,
by
so
running to the
what-
bathroom?
Yeah,
Wa-
so
Wanda
the crew
Sykes
member.
is-
The crew
Wanda
member
Sykes is
is.
getting parasitized.
Yeah.
There
Wanda
is a
Sykes.
mind squid.
Crew member Wanda Sykes is sexually abusing a statue while in the process being groped by an evil tentacle monster who is psychically draining her.
And for the record, this is a legally
I've
distinct
seen
spelling
this
of
hentai.
Wanda. This is a legally distinct spelling of Wanda and Sykes. And it's not a squid. It would be more accurately described as a long centipede.
Gross.
Yeah, I was thinking like the parasite worm from the.
This is a centipede that you could ride like a skateboard.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to shock and grasp the centipede.
All right.
So I'm just
go
gonna try.
ahead
I'm
and go ahead and make
gonna
that.
try to
I
taser it.
guess we're rolling initiative. Where's my
Okay.
cup? Where's my cup at? Where's my cup at? Where's the cup at?
Initiative is
Do we
not
want
great.
to save initiative for next week? Or...
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
Let's
we
get
have-
this one attack off. Let's get this one attack off.
Okay.
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 hit.
How
Oh,
do I-
ooh. I'll write down our order.
melee spell attack. Okay. Let's roll that spell attack, baby.
Roll the spell attack.
14 on the die. Let's see what my spell. I haven't looked at the spell sheet, this character sheet in a little bit. Spell attack bonus plus 16, so 20.
All right. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Or plus 6, not 16. I think it's okay.
Your die was one off from the AC, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay. This is a 1d8 lightning damage.
All right.
That is going to be 6 lightning damage.
6 lightning damage. This creature gets
And
a
it can't take reactions until it starts next turn.
shit, dog.
Yeah. Shock and Grasp is a surprisingly good spell.
It wails in pain as you send a shock through its system. It is one central line with a lot of legs, so luckily, even touching its very end will get it not feeling good. As its attention is now upon you, it unhinges its jaw, and many rows of teeth unhinge to it, and inside of its mouth you see 2 bright red gemstones. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session of Deep Space.
When it turns around and looks, Dr. Creams goes, I hate it here.
Alright, let's go ahead and get our Patreon up.
Dr. Crane's really surprisingly fun to play.
So much fun. It's fun to play a coward. So this week, the art that won was Crab Bake. And so we got the crew that was fighting crabs last time, munching on some crab, having a grand old time. So let's go ahead and make a new Patreon art poll for this week, titled Turtle City. No, Chautauqua. How do you spell Chautauqua?
That's good.
CHAU
A-U.
TAU
A-U.
QUA.
Q-U-A.
They couldn't have made it more difficult to spell.
Fabulous.
Yep.
This is episode 6? 6 or 7? What episode are we on?
I think it's 6, because I think it was 5 last week.
Right. Episode 4. Oh, I made the mistake of naming this one episode 4 as well. Episode 5. So this is episode 6.
Cool. Yeah, you said 5 last time, but I guess you wrote down 4.
I did when I went on to YouTube, and then I checked to see what the previous number was. It is all right. Episode 6, Chautauqua. All right. Who's got a Patreon art poll form? Art. They want me to draw.
I'm gonna say Crane holding Schieffer's hand like that.
Aww. What fun characters we've made.
I know, right? We've got the 2 most socially awkward characters. And they're starting the most socially awkward relationship.
So I don't misspell it on the poll. How do you spell Schieffer's name?
SIO
S-I-O.
FRA.
F-R-A. Crazy.
I like hold this for a moment. He's just holding his hand out.
Just gotta figure out an excuse to put Sakura Blossom somewhere. Crane holding Holding. I'm holding Shifer's hand like that. All right. Who's got an? Oh, I gotta put a space between those two words. There we go. All right. Who's got one for? Who? What you got for me, Moss?
I want one of those hibachi grills in the past.
Hibachi in the past.
Historical hibachi.
Yes.
I fucking love it.
Hibachi
So
in the
good.
past.
Yeah, I was thinking of teppanyaki, but I couldn't remember what hibachi was.
Oh.
Ah,
But those are cool, yeah.
so cool. What you got for
Oh
me,
my
big guy?
I am torn between two, so I'm going to leave it up to a group vote.
Oh boy.
One is historical boy band, ancient boy bands, and the other one is I hate it here because I just made myself laugh. just holding her face and going, I hate it here.
Yes, that
Do we
one
want? Do we
specifically.
want?
I
I
think
hate it
it's
here.
the I hate it
I
here
hate it
moment.
here.
This is the second time we would have a Dr. Crane looking solemn.
Look at Dr.
Well,
Crane
I'll get to
pretty
put
consistent.
Shifa. I'll have to
Pretty
put Shifa there, like her hands in his face, or scratch that, reverse it.
It's just, I hate it here.
I hate it here.
Yeah, how many
Dr.
lords
Crane
are there?
is
7, maybe 8?
7, maybe 8. I hate it here. I want to go home.
I don't know if the bringer is considered a lord, so like.
Right. So if you want to see any of
that's pretty
those
good.
moments drawn, you can go to the Patreon. What Patreon is that? Oh, it's only it's patreon.com/TTLTT. Patreon.com slash.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/TTR. Wow, I'm completely messing up here. Patreon.com/TCLTTRPG. That's patreon.com/TCLTTRPG at patreon.com. And you can vote. It's a completely free and open vote. All the art that comes out of it is free for the viewing as well. You get to see cool stuff like Rufus getting choked out. That's fun. Rufus from Second Chance getting choked out. You get to see the original Dr. Crane hating stuff face. You know, one of the gems. A bunch of cool stuff. There's a lot of art. I make a new piece of art for each episode, so all good. And if you want to support the show, please consider signing up at the $5 level to get your very own Cosmic Library card and become a Cosmic Library card holder. It entitles you to your very own individually numbered Cosmic Library card, in which I can put a portrait of you, an OC of yours, anything, and whatever you want. I'll do it. Just tell me. If you're already a member and you haven't got one, message me. Message me right here on Patreon. I'll get it done. I just need to know what you want to do specifically for your card. I'll do it. I made a promise, and I'll do it. There is also bonus content like the post-shows Decompression Chamber and Study Hall, and bonus content like the Cosmic Book Club, which is a show about TTRPGs, the love of tropes, and how to marry the two together in glorious game mechanics, hosted by me and super cool other creators that you may already know and probably love. There's also a merch store. I've gotten I got 2 of the stickers done for the Second Chance Chibi pack that I'm working on. I've got Rufus's done, and I got the mouse Brambles. I've got Brambles done. I finished those today, and they look great. I can't wait to release the whole pack, but I'm waiting till I have the other 2 PCs characters done. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to work on the sticker for Deep Space, which is going to be the DFS Faustina. That's going to be sick. So please consider checking out the merch store. We got a lot of cool stuff. Some stuff from previous seasons. It's post-apocalyptic. It's like New York, but post-apocalyptic, and everyone's rats from Trash Chronicles. And there's no ethical dating under vampirism, which was a joke that I liked a lot, and so I made it stickers and a t-shirt. You can also get the Cosmic Library logo if you want to. So please consider supporting the show in any way you want to. Also, another great way to support the show is to tell a friend. I've been telling a lot of people recently, and I wonder if it's paying off at all. There's 5 people in the chat, so that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna give myself a
That's
little win.
cool.
I'm gonna give myself a little win. I feel like that's worth it. A little win. All right, it's time for the curtain call. I, of course, have been your Galaxy Man, Game Master, and host. Good the ending, thank you very much. I've played a planet. I've played a city. I've been the environment. And playing both Lily and Shifra has been GamerGirlllisa.
Hi, you can find me on all the places with the buttons as GamerGirlllisa.
Whee!
Obviously, I'm here on Thursdays. On Wednesdays, I'm on Radio Free Will's channel playing Armor Aster Advent. Here soon, starting this weekend, I am going to be producing Delta 1619 over on Neo Sogod's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Sick.
And I get paid for that, so that's
That's
always
so cool.
nice.
That is so cool.
Radical.
Playing Mira, our xenozoologist, biologist extraordinaire, has been Moss Creature.
I got lots of research material this time.
So much research. I am playing the robot Iron Phillips and the wizard, the scared science man, our quantum physics expert, Dr. Crane, has been videojames.
Please stop touching the rocks. I fucking hate it here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. The Cosmic Library presents Deep Space, and of course, as always, I hope you got wet. That joke will never, ever, ever get old. Not ever in my store. Oh my God! There's a tiny human.
There is a tiny human.
We're having a bit of a hard time with children tonight, so.
It's okay.
Hello, little one.
Hi, little one.
I promise to dial back on the horrors of the deep.
Goodness,
She
she's
can't
so
hear you.
adorable, yay.
Oh, little baby.
Can you say hi?
Baby,
There's a baby, baby.
there's a baby, baby. Aww,
Oh my God.
she's so cute.
Oh, good. Okay.
All do it together.
Bear with me a
Let's
moment.
go.
The other one's throwing a temper tantrum. So
Welcome to the Cosmic
Good.
Nursery.
I'll be back in just a moment.
We'll be right back after a message to our sponsor.
These messages.
Hey, a wine
I think
person
Shifra
is
would
gonna
be better.
wine. Are you getting Shifra on this? Are you having your PCs
I'm gonna
working
get
together?
Shifra on this.
Hey girl,
I
hey
would-
listen, shit's wild. Wanna experiment with some wine?
Yeah.
Hey girl, hey!
Alright. I found some wine.
What?
Now, I don't want to drink it if it's poison, though. Beyond the normal amount of poison that alcohol technically is. Okay. Yeah, we can check that out. All right, cool. Let's do that.
It's time for wine science.
So, it's probably related to intelligence.
Mhm.
Survival probably would work. Or what's related to like apothecary kits? What's the stuff they use for that?
Whew.
Did we just lose Moss?
I think we might have.
Wild.
Twitch D&D zone.
What a time to be alive.
Moss said, I have no idea what's going on, but my computer won't register audio input or output.
Okay.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Sounds like a hard. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, what did you roll?
One sec, I'm responding to Moss real quick. Hi, I'm also tech support.
Woo!
Dice.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna roll survival. Do the flower dice. That's a 19 plus 6, so that's a 25 on the wine check.
Interesting. Okay, so on the wine check, you put a vial of the blood wine that you salvaged from the Colosseum in the city that worships the dead into one of the main computers, probably the Fabricate computer, to get an analysis of its chemical makeup. It is to call something a fruit when it has evolved in water is interesting. But there are fructose. There's a high fructose concentration in this wine. So you can... To call something blood from a fish is also something. Yes, blood was integral to the original mixture that this wine was before it underwent fermentation, but a much larger proportion of it was still some liquid that was high in fructose, like natural sugars.
Hi.
And yeah. So to drink this would be like saying that adding blood to this was more acting like a dye than anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And just over the years, the protein content in it has broken down through,
Just
chemical
crazy
processes.
The proof is like 180 proof. Because it's been a long time. This is aged way past the point of beverage and into the realm of poison, like actual kill you poison.
Oh,
Especially if imbibed in its sludge base form. The fact that coral in the form of barrels were able to survive while containing such a thing is actually a little bit of a marvel. It speaks to the can-do attitude of the coral, I guess.
yeah. So the coral essentially leached anything that was worth it out of the mixture and has turned it into poisonous vinegar.
Yeah, not great. Won't probably taste good, but maybe if you add it to a sauce, there might be something. Might be something there. If you dilute anything enough, the flavor capacity for this liquid is very potent. So if you wanted to use it as a flavoring in cooking, there are ways to safely do that. Still.
Okay. So it's not entirely poisonous. Like, we could consume it in the same way that, like, alcohol is poisonous, but because of the concentration, like, it's not safe to consume without diluting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very similar to when we first discovered it. You pointed it out that it is very similar to Roman wine. Or ancient Greek wine.
Okay.
All right, now that James is back,
Hi.
do you want to do your Star Log, Captain?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Hell yeah, dog.
Okay. There we go. Oh, wetted whistle. Go.